What's up guys, and welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about how to get started with fitness properly so you have an idea of what to do when you go into the gym and you don't make all the same mistakes that most newbies make when they get started with fitness, which is why they end up quitting. So we're going to go through some things that I've learned over the years and I've trained many other people how to do, and hopefully you guys can take some of these things away, apply them to your own life, your own workouts, and ultimately just get to your goals that much faster. Let's get into it. Now, the very first thing that you should know or should be thinking about is just get started. Okay, I know this probably seems very obvious to a lot of people, but there's also a lot of people that just don't have any urgency when it comes to their own goals, and they're very happy waiting another week or another month, or in some cases even years. Don't let yourself be this person. If you have a goal in mind, if you have an image in your head, an idea that you want to achieve for yourself and your body, get after it. Don't wait another day. Now, I understand that people want to wait for the stars to align, and the thing about this is you're just never going to be ready the way that you want to be. The puzzle is never going to be fully formed the way you want, and you're never going to have that perfect scenario where now is the time and everything's ready to go and now you can get after it. You just have to kind of jump into the deep end. In fact, if you talk to most fitness professionals, or really anybody that's been successful with fitness, they will tell you that they just kind of fell into the deep end and they learned how to swim and they figured it out as they went. And there's a very strong possibility that if you have a goal, you're going to have to be that person too. And it's going to be uncomfortable. Like I said, you're not going to be ready and you're not going to feel like you're ready, but you just have to go for it. Today is better than tomorrow, and I promise you, you're going to be really, really happy that you got started. The next thing becomes, okay, I'm going to do it. I've made the decision. I'm going to get in there. What do I do? What do I actually do when I step foot in the gym for the first time? Now, the obvious option is get a professional to help you. That's always your best course of action, and usually when you step into a mainstream gym, pretty much any of these gyms are designed to sell you personal training during that initial consult or interaction with a salesperson. Don't think of it as they're trying to push a sale on you. Think of it as an opportunity for help. Now, granted, there's a lot of really bad fitness professionals in the industry, and there's no guarantees that you're going to find a really good trainer right off the bat. But even the worst trainers, not that I'm advocating them, usually know more than you. And if you can have access or an opportunity to some sort of discounted personal training right off the bat, it is usually the best option for you to take. These guys will show you machines, they'll show you how to work out, they'll give you some simple to-dos, probably some homework, but ultimately what they're really going to do is just make you feel a lot better about being in the gym. They're going to make you feel more comfortable, they're going to help you progress, and ultimately just get you coming back for more so you don't feel discouraged right off the bat. Now, if personal training is not an option for you for whatever reason, that's okay. There's a lot of other things that you can do instead of going directly with a fitness professional. For example, when you sign up at a gym, most mainstream gyms have some sort of circuit laid out in which newbies like yourself can really just blast their entire body, go from machine to machine to machine with very minimal rest, and this will give you a total body workout, completely nuke you, and then you can repeat this until you feel you're done or you can't really move anymore, and then you can come back for more the next time. If your gym does not have one of these things for whatever reason, it's very easy to create your own circuits. You can simply go on YouTube, type in beginner workouts or circuits for beginners, anything along those lines, and you will find something that's designed for newbies to pick up, set up, do, and feel successful with. In terms of a little bit more specifics, how much should you be training? What should you be paying attention to? Generally, 3 days a week is your starting number. Almost anybody in fitness will tell you starting with 3 days a week is usually the ideal number because it's not overwhelming. It allows your body to recover in between sessions. And what you do with these 3 days a week is you pick your days off. You're going to blast your entire body pretty much as you can until you can't move anymore. You're going to take a day or two in between. You're going to go back in. You're going to repeat the same thing. And then after 4 to 6 weeks, you're probably going to need to elevate your training, or you're going to need to increase something to make it more challenging. But until then, don't worry about it. The next thing that you should consider is not worrying so much about your nutrition. I know this is going to sound a little crazy to some people, but let me frame it for you. Having a food plan is incredibly important. You need a food plan. If you have any serious goals, fly buzzing around my face here. Come at me, fly, let's go. Anyway, if you have any kind of serious goal, you will at some point need to either put together a food plan or get really, really good with understanding nutrition as a whole. But it's not important right now. And the reason for this is because you just don't really need to worry about it right in the beginning. A lot of newbies take on way too much stuff right off the bat. They take on a whole food plan, take on a whole workout program. They don't know how to do any of it. They get really frustrated and then they quit. It can seem really, really daunting if you're looking at a full plan of food and macros and all these words and vocabularies that you've never heard before and you don't really understand or know what to do with. So, is it important? Yes. Is it important for you right now? Probably not. Now, if you feel that you can handle it and it's not going to be too daunting, obviously you will get better results with a food plan. But for the average people like you and I, keep it simple, don't take on too much, and you're probably still going to see good newbie gains in the beginning. Now, with that being said, you still want to abide by some really basic principles to start with. Eat more vegetables, drink more water, lower your sugar, lower your overall carb intake. Focus on eating more vegetables every day. So one thing you can do is, if you're not having really any, buy a big tub of spinach from the grocery store. Have a handful every day with breakfast or dinner. That is a good starting point. Another thing you can do with water is, if you're not drinking very much, just focus on adding 1 glass per week. Okay, if you try to add 1 liter or 2 liters in on whatever you're already doing, you're gonna be peeing all the time. It's gonna drive you nuts. You might get fired from your job, and it's probably not gonna go well. Keep these things simple. Don't worry so much about having some big grandiose plan right off the bat. Focus on the small controllable things. More vegetables, more water, lower sugar, lower carbs. That's it. And by the way, I said lower carbs, not eliminate them. But that's another story for another video. Okay, so another thing that you should not be doing is relying on training partners. And this is going to be another point that's probably a little controversial. So again, let me explain it, okay? When you get into fitness, there's a set of disciplines and principles that you have to learn. And you really just have to learn these on your own accord. You can't really rely on other people. And if you talk to almost any fitness professional, you can even just watch them in the gym and you'll see that, generally speaking, they're all consistent. They all have a certain way of thinking or a certain discipline when it comes to their training or approach to it. And they just have these principles that they follow internally without even really thinking about it. And those principles are what has allowed them to be successful with fitness. Now, if you're going to be successful, you have to build these principles too. Okay, but what happens when you get into fitness with somebody else and you don't actually have these things built yet is you tend to rely on your training partner unconsciously as a crutch. After your honeymoon phase is over, which is usually around that 4 to 6 week mark where things start to slow down and your newbie gains disappear, all of a sudden you or your training partner's motivation will start to drop. And once that happens, you're kind of screwed. Because without even realizing it, you've been relying on this person to kind of get your ass in the gym, force you to do another set, whatever it is. You've been kind of relying on these people as a crutch to help you get that thing done because you haven't trained yourself how to actually do it. So, I'm not saying that training partners are not important. Okay, in fact, it's the opposite. Once you get to a certain level, basically anything beyond newbie, adding in a training partner is going to elevate your training to a whole different level that you didn't even know you could reach. You're going to get more sets, you're going to have more energy, you're going to probably form a stronger relationship with that person. There's all these benefits involved with having a training partner. Just don't rely on them right away, okay? Build your discipline, your schedule, your consistency, and most importantly, your mental fortitude by yourself. Don't rely on somebody else to get you through the storm. Tell yourself that you're going to figure out a way to do it. Now, another thing to consider is how much cardio should you be doing? This is a really, really common question, okay? The first thing, first and foremost, is that cardio is not the most effective way to lose fat. You have to understand that this is not and should not be your go-to for fat loss. This is probably one of the biggest myths in the industry is cardio is how I lose fat. Don't think about it like that. Cardio is a tool in the same way that weightlifting is a tool, in the same way that stretching and mobility is a tool. These are all tools in your bag. And relying or over-relying on one tool ultimately is just going to bring you to a standstill a lot faster. So you want to do cardio, but you don't want it to be your go-to, and you don't want to rely on it specifically for fat loss all of the time. How you should think about cardio is an accessory to your weightlifting regimen. That is the ideal way to approach fitness. Weightlifting is going to make you stronger. It's going to help you fix your posture. It's going to build muscles. It's going to burn more fat than cardio will. Crazy, right? And ultimately, it's just going to help you more, and it's going to help you sooner. And when you add cardio on top of that, a whole bunch of awesome things happen. Your endurance increases, your recovery will increase, your sleep will improve, your blood flow, your health, your hormones, all of these things will start to get better. But you have to use these things in tandem with one another. Conjunction with one another. Maybe tandem. We'll have to look that up. Use both of them. Don't over-rely on one of them. So the next point is, okay, I get it. I'm not going to over-rely on it, but how much should I actually do? This is a really good question. Generally speaking, there really isn't a perfect or ideal number per se. Generally, you want to be doing 20 to... There's that damn fly again. You're going to be the death of this video. Come here, you bastard. I'll clap you to death. Adding 20 to 30 minutes on top of your workout or at the end of your workout is a really good starting point. Okay. One thing to consider is don't do your cardio first. There is an ideal sequence of things that you should be doing in fitness. You're going to start with a warm-up or a stretch. You're going to go right into your weightlifting. You're going to do your cardio after, and then you're going to do your cool down / mobility / stretching, whatever it is that you do afterwards. Don't do your cardio first. Generally, this will exhaust the body, will pre-exhaust it too much. It will take too much oxygen, create too much lactic acid in the muscles, and your performance with your weightlifting routine will suffer. So, cardio second, weightlifting first. Probably should have said that the other way around. Weightlifting first, cardio second, and then for the cardio itself, 20 to 30 minutes. And in terms of what you should be doing, please don't walk on a treadmill. I'm not hating on walking. There's nothing wrong with walking. The thing about walking is you do it every day. Your body is used to it. Most of us do, anyway. Okay, there are some exceptions, and if you're one of those people that don't walk every day, walking is a great thing to start with. If you're like the average people like you and I, you already do walking. Walking generally won't give you the result or the benefit that you're looking for. However, an incline walk is a great way to modify your walk and make it so that you're actually getting a lot of benefit. You turn the treadmill up to a certain incline, certain percentage, and then you're going to walk uphill. Now the key to this is don't use your hands. This is kind of a safety net that people use to make it a lot easier. They'll crank the incline all the way up, but they'll hold the top of the screen or the handles, and really that's taking away half the effort because you're supporting yourself when you're walking, so you're not burning as much energy. Now, you can do this, but you're gonna have to walk twice as long for half as much energy. It's up to you. It doesn't really make a lot of sense in terms of time spent though. What type of cardio you can do? Incline walks are really awesome. The bike, any kind of treadmill work, if you want to do a light jog or an interval jog, that's a good way to do it as well. Or Stairmaster is another great thing that you can start with. It can be a little intimidating, so be aware of that when you look at that thing or hop on it for the first time. Really, anything that you're doing in the gym, start with a low level, low intensity, and work your way up in a way or a speed that makes you feel comfortable. Don't take too much on at once, and don't crank the speed up right off the bat because you're trying to keep up with Joe Blow beside you. Alright guys, so that's my tips. That's the video for today. Those are the thoughts in my head, and hopefully some of these help. I just wanted to throw some tips and some best practices at you that I've learned over the years. Hopefully, like I said, you can take some of these things, apply them to your own workouts, and ultimately just take some of this guesswork out, avoid some of these headaches and mistakes, and get to the ideal image of you that much faster. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for tuning in. I truly appreciate you. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you on the next video.